Welcome back everyone to another video, and in this video I'm going to go through some of my top investment locations for the rest of 2025 and looking into 2026. Now these are some of my absolute favorite locations in terms of population, in terms of infrastructure growth, in terms of supply and demand metrics, and much more. I consider these safe long-term investments which you can purchase over the next 6 months and hold it for the next 10, 20 and even 30 years because they have such solid economies. And if you're new to this channel or this is the first time you're watching one of my videos, I am under 450k and I go through various different locations throughout Australia, covering every single regional locations, giving my opinion, my thoughts on it, and helping you decide which location is the best for you guys to invest into. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and go check out all my videos because there is a wealth of knowledge to be found here. It is basically your investor dictionary on this channel. But without further ado, let's go into the first location, which is Albury-Wodonga. Now, for those of you who have been on my channel, in my community and more, you guys know that I love this location. And when you look at this location, Albury itself has about 60,000 people, and by 2046, we're looking close to 80,000 people, and more people moving to regional areas. This number will likely to continue to explode. So there is a real demand for housing in this area. In a very similar fashion, when we look at Wodonga, which is the southern part of Albury-Wodonga in Victoria, we have a population of around 50,000 people, and that's going to reach about 62,000 people by 2046. So both of these locations are going to have about a 35% increase in population, and it is an amazing opportunity if you're able to purchase this right now. And when you look at this location, it has been an extremely consistent performer over the past 20 odd years, with averaging about 7 to 9% growth over the past 10 years. It has done extremely well and it will continue to do well for the foreseeable future. And it's not a cyclical town like a regional location, like a mining town in Queensland, for example. It is a very well diversified economy, right? Albury itself has about $11 billion in economic output, while Wodonga has about another $10 billion in economic output. And when you start to look at the industries, you can see it is very well diversified into healthcare, retail trade, construction, education, and more within the Albury sector. And when you look at the exports, you can see it's into manufacturing, construction, healthcare, and public administration and safety, and more, with mining only taking about 1.2% of it. So it's a very well diversified regional economy, with manufacturing being its largest exports. And when you look at Wodonga in a very similar example, and you look at the industries, you can see healthcare, public administration, safety, construction are the core sectors of this location. And when you look at the exports, it's also tied to mainly manufacturing and public administration. And overall, when you look at both economies, it is very well diversified. It has held extremely strong over the past 25 to 30 years, and it's only going to continue to do better with the amount of population growth that it's having, with the amount of housing it needs to have as well. And not only that, you can look into Albury-Wodonga's major projects. They recently had the new regional hospital announced, which is a multi-story clinical services valued around $558 million. It's still early days, but that construction is expected to be completed in 2028, which is only going to bring in more workers into the local area in terms of nurses, construction jobs, electricians, and more. It has great potential. Hospital infrastructure projects are one of the key drivers that I look for in a regional economy, and it has that. You also have other plans happening like the solar farm here. Now, this is extremely early stages with detailed planning happening, valued around $1.2 billion. Of course, this could change. As I always say, infrastructure projects don't have a direct correlation to price growth, but it is a good indicator that something is happening or something is stimulating in that economy. In a very similar fashion, we also have the huge Inland Rail project, which is another major project that is going to continue to drive the economy in terms of construction jobs into the local economy and bring tons and tons of money, with a valued estimate of $301 million into Albury-Wodonga, which is only going to strengthen and support the local economy. And an example of a property you can find is something like this in Lavington, which is a 3x1 sold for $600,000 back in August, and it is a very solid brick home. Now, the competition is high. I'm not going to hide away from that fact, but there are good homes to be found around that $650,000 price point in Albury-Wodonga, and if you can pick up an asset right now, you can hold it for the next 10, 20 years, and you can do very, very well. But that is one of my most favorite locations, Albury-Wodonga. Have it on your list and never forget about it. Now, before I go on to the next location, guys, if you haven't already subscribed to the private community, we were talking about these 5 key regional locations almost an year ago, and our community members invested back then and have made a lot of money. So if you guys want to be ahead of the curve, making sure you're making the right decisions about what to invest into, when to invest into, and what sort of assets to acquire, then you need to be part of the private community. It is an absolute no-brainer at $35 a month. There is no one out there that is giving you property education like I do for such an affordable price point. My whole shtick is that I've made property education affordable. You'd be a fool not to take part in it. It is an absolute no-brainer, guys. This costs less than taking your family out to eat, and this could set your family up for the future. So make sure you don't make the wrong decision. Jump into the private community and get the help that you need. Let's get back into the video. Now, the next one I want to talk about is good old Bendigo. Bendigo is one of my favorite locations to consider. It is a solid economy. There is wonderful opportunities. It's an extremely hot market. There is no two ways about it, right? It's very highly competitive, but if you can secure an asset in this location for around $600,000, then you're going to do very, very well in the long term and in the short term as well, for that fact. And when you start to look at Greater Bendigo, you can see that it has a population of 129,000 people. So it's not some small little town in the middle of nowhere. It's a solid regional economy, and its population is expected to boom to around 170,000 odd people by 2050, or close to 2050, which is another 33% increase. And guess what? Those people need houses, and those people need somewhere to live. And then when you start to look at the economy of this regional location, you can see that its economic output is around $22 billion, supports around 55,000 jobs, and its GRP is continually increasing. And when you look at the industries, you can see it's very well diversified into healthcare, retail trade, construction, education, training, and more. You can see a portion of it, around 2.5% of employment, is done to mining. Now, Bendigo does have a portion of mining into its economy, but overall it is extremely solid. It's into manufacturing, mining, construction, financial services, which is not a typical industry that you see regional locations have. It's also into healthcare, electricity, gas, and water services. So it is very well diversified. It has a great regional economy. It is extremely close to Melbourne CBD with a direct train line that you can catch to Bendigo back and forth. And in fact, some people don't even know, but a lot of people who live in Kangaroo Flat actually do the commute from Kangaroo Flat to Melbourne CBD to work. That's how convenient it is, right? So for those of you who are wondering, Bendigo is a great regional hub. You should definitely go check it out. Now, what's an example of a property you can look at? You can look at this one here in Fort Margaret Court in California Gully. It's a very simple property, nothing too flash, nothing too amazing, just a very tidy home that you can hold for a really long time. Yes, this property is around $600K. If you want to purchase in Bendigo, you need about $550 to $650, I would say. Can you get lower? Yes. But are they going to be in the best pockets? Probably not. Are they going to be the best conditions? Probably not. But if you have a budget around $600,000, it is certainly possible. So the next location I want to be talking about is one that is slightly more south, closer to Melbourne CBD, and that is Greater Geelong. Now, Geelong, after a long time, or I would say just rather 3 years, of having a little bit of a downtrend, is absolutely exploding right now. And there is plenty of opportunities there. It is once again competitive, but it is once again one of those locations that I would be happily to buy something here and hold for the next 20 years and just watch it double in value, double again, and then double again after that. And when you look at Greater Geelong, yes, the median buy price is around $860,000, but realistically, you find properties anywhere from around $500,000 to around $1 million. So certainly quite a diverse range. It depends on which pockets you're looking at. When you're looking at more sort of the south parts of Geelong, it's going to be a lot more expensive. When you look at the north parts like Corio and Nora Lane, it's going to be a bit cheaper. I would say a lot cheaper because they are less desirable areas and less in terms of socioeconomic score. But nonetheless, it has a wide price range which you can choose from to invest into. But it's a location with full of potential because Geelong current population is around 300,000 people and it's forecast to be around 450 to 500,000 people by the time it's 2046. And the way the population boom in Australia is happening with all the immigration, I would likely say it could be even more. And it is relatively affordable. It's also very close to Avalon Airport if you have a look over here, and it's very close to Melbourne CBD. Now, I really don't consider it's part of Melbourne, but it is extremely close. It's not too hard to commute to Melbourne. It has great potential and it's a massive, massive location. And when you start to look at its regional economy, it has an economic output of $48 $8 billion. It's not really a regional location. I would say it's almost a mini city with the amount of people and the economic output it has. And when you look at the industries, it's very well diversified: healthcare, construction, retail trade, education, training. It is not a single source location like a lot of BAs promote. And when you look into the export, it is primarily manufacturing, with around 36% of its exports related to manufacturing, and maybe downstream as well. You look into construction, around another 20% odd. It also does have financial and insurance services as well as healthcare, but overall a very well diversified location, a very stable location, and it has very, very desirable parts as well. And then when you look at the economy and the infrastructure that's happening around it, and you start to zoom in, you can see that it has a new women's and children hospital that is currently under delivery, valued around $514 million, that will continue supplying the economy, bringing construction jobs as well as future jobs for doctors, nurses, and many more, which will all need houses for. So it's something for you guys to go have a look into. And there is even more when you start to look around Geelong. You can see a convention and event center currently valued around $456 million under delivery. Another road projects around $318 million. And it's not just the economy. When you have such a large regional location, more money will be continually pumped into this location to continue to grow. It will likely have more infrastructure projects in the future. It'll have more road and other hospitals and services all put into this location just because of how big it is. So if you're able to claim an asset for an affordable price, like this one right here, around $650,000, then there could be a lot of opportunity and value for you to hold it for a very long time and watch the property prices double and double and double again. Now, yes, is Geelong's yields good? No, you're sitting around 4 to 4.5%, but it's not the worst either. So you really have to understand your cash flow before you choose to invest in this location. But Geelong is one of those locations that is full of opportunity, full of promise, that you should be having on your watch list as a long-term investment option. Now, I don't want this video to drag out too long, so I'm just going to show you one more location and give some notable mentions as well. The other location I'm quite bullish on is this Maitland region. Now, it's extremely close to the wider economy of Newcastle. It is literally about 30 to 40 minutes away from the coast, from the beach, in a large regional hub like Newcastle. Newcastle prices are going to continue to skyrocket into the near future, especially with all the baby boomers leaving and finding places to live in and to retire in. And Maitland has a lot to offer, being so close to Newcastle. But to enter the Maitland market, you really need closer to that $700,000 budget mark to find good quality assets. If you come in with anything lower, you might not find the right quality asset, I would say. And you can see it has been a fairly consistent performer over the past 20 odd years. And right now it's going through another cycle and starting to rise in value once again. And Maitland will continue to boom in population with around 100,000 people. Currently, it's meant to boom to about 160,000 people by 2046. So a lot of population growth happening in this economy. A lot of people will be coming to this local area. Obviously, population growth is not the number one key driver of capital growth, but it is certainly will have an influence in the number of housing projects that happen, how the local economy will form, and where infrastructure and money will be spent. And this Maitland region will continue to rise. And when you start to look at its economy, it's around a $15 billion economic output. And when we break it down by industries, we can see it's into healthcare, public administration, retail trade, and more. Now, one thing to note is when you look at the exports, you can see a significant portion of it is tied to mining. But it is also very slowly transitioning away from a large component of it into healthcare, social assistance, education and training, like schools and TAFEs. And also 3 years ago, they had a $470 million Maitland Hospital officially opened back in 2022. So a couple of years back now, but it is a sign of an improving economy, things changing, and it's also extremely close to Newcastle. So I am quite bullish on this area up here. I think it will do very, very well in the long term. And in the short term, it is pumping out some numbers, a lot more demand, a lot more interest into this area. And you need to go check out my full deep dive video of Maitland to fully understand the economy and the regional location. But some other notable mentions that I do want to give for consideration include Wagga Wagga. I think Wagga Wagga is one of those locations that you do need to do more due diligence in. I have done a video about it, so go check it out. And also, there is a number of locations in Queensland which I'm also very bullish on in the long term that have very solid economies. The only caveat is that it has doubled in value over the past 3 to 5 years. I have said this many times. So obviously take it with a grain of salt and approach it with the right strategy. And if you have any questions and you're trying to pick the right location and you're unsure what trade-offs to make, or you're just stuck in analysis paralysis, or you have investor fatigue, that's where I come in. That's where I can help out. Jump in the private community. Get the help you need. I'm like a doctor for properties. I will help you out. Till next time, thank you very much.